Did you know you can open a bank account in New Zealand without being in New Zealand? Here's how.
Hello, you don't even know my name, but I am
Hi, if you're new to this
happy.
channel, I am the Sassy Engineer and I share content on my travels because I know a lot of people would like to travel but for whatever reason cannot travel. So I share this content so that you enjoy and see the views and experience everything from the comfort of your home. I also share a lot about New Zealand, so settling in New Zealand, coming to New Zealand, everything New Zealand. Then I share stuff on study abroad for international students because at a point in my life, I was also an international student. So don't forget to subscribe and also turn on notifications while you're here. If you're moving to New Zealand or planning to come to New Zealand, know this. You can open a bank account before you arrive. You may be thinking, why do I need to do this? The benefits are vast. For instance, your money arrives here before you. It arrives and is waiting for your arrival so that from day one, you're balling. Number two, you get paid in the first pay cycle of your new job by your employer, and you take advantage of good transfer rates, skipping the middleman, which most times come with unnecessary charges and fees. You can also start building credit history and savings from day one. And this is especially good for students and people on working holiday visas. Those ones need money before they even arrive. So your money is ready for you. And if you're a student and you have a funding or a sponsor, they can transfer your maintenance fee into your account so that when you arrive, the money is already there instead of having to wait for bank transfers, which may take forever. You see? Overseas account opening is commonly called migrant banking. To open an account from overseas, you can do this in 3 steps. Step 1, apply online. Step 2, account will be open but with limited access. Step 3, verification to have full access to your account. And you are done. Your account is open. Now, before I go into details of how, each of the steps, how many banks are there in New Zealand? There are 27 registered banks in New Zealand. The big four retail banks are ANZ, ASB, BNZ, and Westpac. These own a cumulative of 90% of the gross loans and advances in New Zealand. Then you have Kiwi Bank, which is a state-owned bank. You have Heartland Bank, TSB, Citibank, Cooperative Bank, and you also have HSBC, Rabobank, Bank of China, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, SBS Bank, HSBC, and the likes. The Central Bank of New Zealand is called Reserve Bank of New Zealand, not Bank of New Zealand like I thought when I was coming to New Zealand the first time. So the Central Bank of New Zealand is called Reserve Bank of New Zealand. Out of these 27 registered banks, only about 5 do migrant banking. And these 5 are the big 4 retail banks and Kiwi banks. So, what is a migrant banking process? Step 1, apply online. Depending on the bank of choice, you can open a New Zealand account within 90 to 365 days before your arrival. To apply online, you need to choose an account. Then you need your contact details, that's your phone number, your home address, proof of residential address. You need a tax details if applicable, copy of your passport, copy of your visa, and proof of study if you're applying for a student account. And some banks may require that you also submit their completed form. Now, for your passport and your visa, some banks will require that the copies are certified. Once you've completed this, you submit your application. There may be more requirements depending on the current compliance requirement. Once you submit your application, the bank will get back to you usually within 2 days, requesting for additional information to complete setting up your account. For Westpac and Kiwi Bank, you can set up your account within 180 days before your arrival, but for ANZ, 90 days before your arrival. Step 2, account opened. If all is complete, the bank will set up your account and you'll get an email confirmation of your account details. You can then start transferring funds into the account. However, you cannot withdraw money from that account or do everyday banking with it. But the bank can help you set up internet banking where you can see your balance in that account, which brings us to the third step. Verify, activate, and gain full access to your account. Once you arrive in New Zealand, you will need to activate your account. You can simply walk into any branch to do that But if you want to avoid waiting, you send them an email to set up an appointment. Some banks will take appointments only, while some banks will also specify the particular branch you should go to. The documents that you need to carry are your passport, a copy of your visa, and proof of residential address. So this can be the one you used in the application, so the proof of your residential address overseas, or it can be a proof of a New Zealand address. Online, hard copy, both are accepted. Once that is done, you're all good to go and ready to ball on the money that you are sent way ahead of time. T's and C's applies though, as you will know with everything banking money, and eligibility criteria. So these are the T's and C's and eligibility criteria. Number one, you must be 18 years and above to do this. You must have a valid visa before you can apply. Without a visa, you're not qualified. And not all banks accept all countries. So some banks do not accept you to apply from the country that you are living in. And your account will generally need to be activated within 6 months from the date it was set up. So for whatever reason, you have to land in New Zealand and activate your account within 6 months from the date that account was opened. Capish? Is it safe? What if someone takes my money before I arrive? That is a valid question. I would say it is safe can be. The reason why I say this is because of that limited access. So you can put in money as much as you want, but you cannot take it out. Before you take it out, you have to verify your identity, that you are you, before you do anything to that account. So that account can be there before anything is done. And I think this is a safety measure that the bank have put in place, so that they are sure that whoever is withdrawing money from that account has to be the person that opened the account. So this safety measure is that. And secondly, you two have to also be alert. Yes, they'll send you an email and all that, but with the rising rate of cyber insecurity these days, and these criminals are getting good and good by the day, you have to be alert and make sure that you check those emails properly, especially the ones that has to do with your money. Make sure that the email address matches what is there on the bank's website. And if you are confused and you are not sure, call the bank or send them an email. They will respond and validate whatever questions you have. But please, any email that has to do with that, check the address, check everything, and be sure that it's legit, because some of these guys are just wow. If you found this useful, like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.